back to Whitelegg Junction. Apologise for this one taking so long. With it being the summer and that, the management, i.e. the wife, wanted to do one or two things, and I've done a couple of shows through the summer as well, so with my other layout. So I apologise for this one being so long, and as I said before, I only get a chance to do a couple of hours on a Sunday, as I'm a truck driver and I'm away a lot in the week. But anyway, this one is about building the baseboard legs, so it's freestanding. At the minute it was the rafters that you can see at the back of me, there was a board going across and the layout was sat on top of that. So what I've done now is built the legs so it's freestanding. Quick thought is on about shows. I've been invited to Worley this year in November, so if anybody of you is going to Worley, just pop along and say hello. I think I'm on stand A51, Loughborough Derby Road. If I'm not there, I won't be far because I should probably go on for a rest break or something to eat, but I should be there over the weekend. So if you want to have a chat, please do so. It'd be nice to see some faces with to match the names of people that go to on the YouTube. Right, and we'll get on with this and I'll show you how to do it. See you in a bit. Right, that's the first board up. As you can see, the legs are all in. I've just got to attach the adjustable legs. See the bar across the top there? Sorry, on the bottom. That's just to stabilise it, make it more solid. It does rock at the minute, and I shall show you. As I say, it does rock a bit at the minute, but hopefully when I get this board on that comes across here, it should stop rocking because of the way the legs are. Just a quick tip, if you can see these, well, they're not load bearing or nothing. There's two, one either side, and as what they're for is when I put the next board on, which I shall show you. Is what'll happen is you put the next board on, and if you're working on your own, there's danger of pulling the board off when you're adjusting it like that. But just a quick tip, and that'll stop it sliding off until you've secured the board on properly. These aren't just made out of scraps of ply, but you can buy proper metal ones from a hardware shop, DIY shop. I found them in Wilkinson's for about 50p, but these are just scraps of ply and they do the same job. And all it is to say, when you put them on, it stops the board from sliding off, because that's the danger when if you're doing it on your own. It won't move now. That's that bit done. The leg at the bottom, the strip of wood at the bottom there, all it is, it just goes across the top like that, and it just gives a bit of support on the bottom of the leg. I'll see how good it is when I put the next board up, which I shall do now. There we are. That's what I mean by the catches. See, there's no bolts in there at all at the minute. It's fairly safe. I wouldn't like to pull on it at the one end, but they're there. That's that one, and there's the other one there, and it just gives you that bit more security until you finish bolting it all up. Once it's bolted up, they can be left like that. There's nothing too awkward about them. Right, I'll carry on putting the boards up. Sorry about shaky camera, but I'm underneath the board at the minute. There we are, it's got better. There we are, there's the two of them. They're not even connected to the other board. They're just there for a safety thing, that's all. Right, I'll carry on. The legs themselves, there's nothing special with them. It's what they call a H-type design. You got a cross member, try and get it there. Got that cross member there, and then the down rights, and then a supporting piece there. That bit there is just a piece of plywood I've got spare, and it just makes sure the legs don't come close in. The top bit that is where the boards sit on top. I don't know whether you can make out the one behind. It sits on like that. See, there's the legs, there's the bottom bit down there. So all that is to make sure them two legs don't come in and give it a bit of support. The layout sits on top of this. This is 2x2. I did make two types of legs, which I shall show you. The legs for the layout, i.e. this board and then the other boards that is going on, will sit on the 2x2, which is this one. The end board, which as you can see there, and there's the legs there, that's the same thing, H box, but the top of them is only a piece of 2x1 because it's only a thinner board to sit on. And same again, that's the same, 2x2, 2x1 sorry, down right, and then that's a piece of 3x1, which I shall show you what I'm going to do with that in a minute. It shows that, sorry about the camera, you see the bar there, it shows I can put that bar on. I'm going to put a piece of 2x2 in the corner, if I can get just there, I think you can just about make it out. Yeah, there we are. That there is a 2x2 piece, and the cross member sits on the top and both legs. Same again, that stops the legs coming in and gives it a bit of support. I might have to put a bit more support on later on, but I shall find that out when I've actually finished pouring the boards up. Oh, sorry. But that's how them end legs go. And this is the legs for the boards, as you can see. Again, just a piece of board on, just to keep the next one from falling off until I put these bolts in, because the bolts will come in this side. That's just to stop it from falling off again. You don't have to put it on. I have, because sometimes I have to put my layout up on my own up in the loft here, and it just saves me putting clamps and it falling off and causing damage. The way I fit them to the board is using these nuts and bolts. I don't really remember all from the first video where I bought a load from a builder's merchant. I'm still using them, still coming in handy. And basically all it is we'll say this is the leg on the other side. I don't know where you can see that. That's where it screws in and it goes in. And then I tighten it up the other side. So they're just the nuts, like nuts and bolts. Saves carrying a load of wing nuts and everything. But basically all it is I positioned the legs where I wanted, and drilled from the back this way. And then when I got the hole, I lengthened it up and down. Only a bit, not too much. It so to make sure that this sits flush on the board. And all it is I screw that in like that. Get my drill. And then that leg's attached, like so. As I say, this will be like the board at the back. So you can see where I've screwed it in. Still got a few of these left. Oh, there we are. Still got a few of these left, and they're coming in handy for putting the leg on. So you can put the legs this side, but I've done it on that because of height restrictions in the car. You can put the leg in the corner like that. Same thing, screw it. Oh, I've done with those nuts and bolts. And the thing is, if you do it that way, you can put your piggyback thing screwed to this board. But I want it all separate because, as I say, it does add an inch. Well, a 2x1. It does add an inch thickness. So you've gone that, plus an inch thick, so to be similar, sitting like that underneath, sorry, like that, and then the board sits on there. You screw this under there, but say you can put the legs under there like that. It just depends how much room you got. But I put them there, made these legs like this because of space restrictions I've got in the car. Well, hopefully that's been helpful. Going back to the leg, I nearly forgot to say, the height of my leg from floor to there is 37 inches. That's how high I want it. So basically I can sit, I've got a couple of bar seats or bar stools, and I can sit there, sit on the layout with my legs underneath it. So from there to the floor is 37 inches. You can have that as any height you like. I've seen them at 2 foot tall or 24 inches up to 5 foot tall. There's no set height for them. It's just whatever you feel comfortable with. I've set it at this height so I can sit underneath. So as I say, it doesn't matter how high. At the end of the day, you're the one that's got to work on it. You're the one that's got to use and play it. So you set it to whatever height you wish yourself. As you can see, these are the adjustable legs. Nothing special. And what you do, you screw them down. Obviously, when you've got them set up, there's a slot there for a screwdriver, and you can adjust the legs like so. Yeah, I'll get around there, and that's it. If you're fitting a layout at home, you don't really need the adjustable legs unless you're putting it up in the loft. But when we go into exhibition, it's beneficial because some of the floors are not exactly level. And if you have a look, I don't know whether it can pick it up, it's just not, we'll say this piece of wood here is the floor, and you can see that it's not quite touching the bottom. And I do that for a reason, that sometimes the floor's not at level at one end. The legs, i.e. these bit, the end of the leg here, will be touching the floor, so I want this to keep back a bit, if you understand what I mean. And then as you go along, the legs start coming out and out, coming out a bit. Oh, I ain't very good at camera work, am I? It comes out. You pick these up at most railway shows. I forget which show I picked these up. And all they are is held in with 4 screws. The best way to do it is put a pilot hole in. Just normal thin drill bit, and then screw them by hand. Try not to do electric screwdriver because you'll go too far in and it'll ruin the wood. The wood won't grip the thread better. Anyway, I'll put the other leg on, the adjustable, sorry, I keep saying leg, confusing everybody, and then I shall show you something else. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, I'll just show you how to do this one. As you see, I've adjusted the leg so it's not flat out on the bottom. Just a couple of turns so I can see the thread in the bottom there. Place on the wood where I want. Use this as a template for like the floor would be. And then just marry the leg up like that. Put a couple of pencil marks in where I want the screw holes. It's nothing too hard if you've managed to build your layout up and built the legs. This is the simple bit. That's it. I'll just put the 2 screws in for now to hold it, and then I'll show you what I've done. Point being small screws, that's what I mean. You don't really need an electric drill. There we are. Let me just take this off. There we are. See what I mean? Oh, there we are. And you screw the leg down. And that'll be touching the floor now. I ain't got quite enough hands. I could do an extra pair of hands here. But that's it. So if you imagine this being the floor, and that's the gap, and I should do that on all of them. Right, I shall carry on with this, and then I'll show you what people mean by a coffin, packing away in coffin style. Shan't be long. In a lot of shows I get asked how I transport the layout about, and the way I do it is what the say build a coffin, literally. That board there is one of the scenic boards, which is the one with the bridge on it. I don't know where you can just about see down the tunnel there. And this one is a storage road that goes at the back of it. And all I should do when I'm setting up and putting it away is stand them on edge like this, and I'll have a board cut from there to there is 10 inches, because that's all the room I've got spare, because I shall have 3 of these boards, which will make about a total of 30 inches, and in the car I've got 35 inches clearance, so I've got a couple of inches to play with. But I can only do that if I put these boards at 10 inches apart, which will be like that. So luckily enough, all the scenic will be down in the valley there, and then it just tracks stuff on the top there, so hopefully I should get away with it. But basically what you do is you get another board and put it on the end, like so. It'll be cut to size. Ooh. Like that. And that'll go, let me just step back further, can't quite get it all in. That'll go, the board will go from the bottom there right the way up to the top to protect the end. There'll be one on the other end as well. I'll go and show you where it is on Derby Road, and then you'll get a better idea how that packs away. There we are, this is Derby Road. Let's see what I mean by how close they are. This is the back of one board, and there's the gap between the two, and that's the front of the other board. It's like sandwiched. If you have a look on the top, this is where the coffin bit comes on, and it just covers the board. And all I've done is just a couple of screws that go through to the board like that, and it holds it all together. This is the other side. You do it like this just to protect the board at the layout a bit. That's all there is. So I hope that's helped you out. But I do get asked a lot of questions about how I transport it, and that's all it is. It's what they call a coffin style. Alright then, so that's it. That's the legs built. And so it's all freestanding. As you can see, I've left these boards up, and then in the week sometime I shall dismantle the rest of my workbench type of thing at the minute, and then put the rest of the layout up on its legs. My next project will be building the control panel, and that way I can start wiring in the point motors and do any wiring that I've got to do. Then I can actually play on it properly. I do get asked a lot about the wiring point motors in, which will be in a future film. But for now, these legs are done. As I said earlier, I am at Worley, so please come along, say hello. Nice to see you, and we can have a chat, and hope to see you there. Right, hope to see you in November at Worley. So for now, bye.